Hi, my name is Bernard. My company's got Rough Diamond. I help turn your existing customer base into your sales force. As I always say, why pay for a sales force when you can create one for free? I'm here with Fiona. Now, Fiona's going to talk about a specialized subject, and what she's going to be talking about may be generated around women in total. But what it is, I'm interested to learn what actually men think about this subject, what she's going to talk to you about. Over to you, Fiona. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, and thanks for having me here. Yeah, my name is Fiona Catchpole. I'm creator and founder of the Menopause School, and we are the place to be if you want to learn how to become menstrual health informed as a holistic wellness professional. And the first rule of Menopause School is we don't talk about menopause unless we talk about menstrual health first. And that's what we do.
Tell us a bit more about that and what you actually do in terms of it. I want the people on here LinkedIn to actually understand what menopause is all about in
Mhm.
terms of the way you would introduce it in a simple content.
Right. Well, we talk about it in a different way. We start the story in a better place. What we do, we enable holistic health and wellness professionals. It could be life coaches, it could even be business coaches. Anyone who works with people who menstruate on the physical and emotional health could be able to enhance their own modality by becoming menstrual health informed, which includes menopause. Now, we talk about the menstrual health timeline. So we start things at the very beginning. So we go from periods to perimenopause and beyond. We explain it in terms of something called the menstrual health timeline. And once we've done that, we find everybody has light bulb moments and they'll be able to create those touch points in a menstruator's life to enable and empower them with information. Um, we've gone decades, hundreds of years even, um, with poor information on menstrual health and what it means to have female physiology. And as a result, I mean, in actual fact, the last statistic I can recall is that the health and education gap is the widest in the UK out of all countries in the G20. So we're in a pretty poor state when it comes to menstrual health education. And one of our aims, global ambitions, is to change that by creating a collective of menopause doulas and health informed practitioners. And we have an online training platform, and you can take a look at that.
That is absolutely awesome in terms of it. And I think what it is, I only met Fiona on a network event online, and I was put into a little chat room with her. And I, me being me, I'm always fascinated about that side of the woman's cycle in terms of what she actually goes through. And it was funny because I asked her a question about menopause and where it actually came from. So, where did the name menopause actually originate from?
Yeah, it's actually only about 200 years old in its actual context as it is at the moment. It was put together from some Greek and terminology from the word menses, which means monthly, as in monthly cycle. Although there's a little bit of myth busting to go on that. So it's from the word menses and pausis, which is the word for stop. So together, it's menses pausis, menopause, and it was a French doctor in about 1821 that put the two words together. And what it means is the permanent cessation of the menstrual cycle. And in modern day language, though, it doesn't really translate as well. And it's a bit of a weird word because technically it's one day, it's one moment in time, menopause, when you've gone 12 consecutive months without a menstrual cycle. The day before your perimenopause, the day after, a menstruator is classed as postmenopause for the rest of their days. But the word gets used as an umbrella term to describe that not only just the biology, but the process as well, going from the point of what they would call regular periods and when you can predict fertility to when you can't, and then when the actual process completely stopped. But it's not really about reproduction and fertility in the whole bigger scale of things. It's a much bigger picture. And the word menses, with regards to monthlies, it only about 16% of people who menstruate actually have a monthly cycle. It's maybe less than 28 days or longer than 28 days because it was based on a lunar calendar. And then the word causes, kind of in a modern day language, means a temporary stop, but that's not what it actually means. It means a permanent cessation. And we talk about it in terms of ovarian aging Because one of the other things that comes up when we're talking about menopause, and we had that great chat that day, and I loved all your questions, is that it's considered to be something about aging. Now, it is to a degree, but it could also happen at any point. And ovarian aging actually starts the moment periods start. So if we can actually just kind of embrace some of the different ways of thinking and just put a different twist on it and look at it as a journey and what's called a continuum. So the moment a menstruator starts their periods, we're on a journey, a hormone health journey called the menstrual health timeline. It coincides with chronological aging and hormonal aging, but it's quite a different journey for someone who menstruates versus someone like yourself, who we call a co-menstruator.
No, I love the way you speak and what you say about it, because it's one of the subjects that really fascinated me about the woman's body and how it actually develops throughout the years. Now, another question to you is going to ask you, how important is customer services within your industry?
Oh, it's crucial for my students. If my students, I can't press the right buttons to get into the training for the starters. So our first line of customer service is support at the menopause school, because it's really important that they're able to actually get into the program and optimize their learning experience. So it's really, really important, and no question is too big or too small, you know. So for me, customer service is fundamental for the student learning experience. And then once they're in the portal, if they lose their way around, or if they're not really sure, I want them to be able to ask those questions and know that, you know, we don't mind you asking any number of questions. And because we have students from all over the globe, I do have to say, oh, sometimes I might not be available straight away to answer your question. But we do our best with our customer service. And I think that for me, it works really well because we've built a community now. And our students are not just with us when they're studying. They stay with us for the postgraduate experience and continue to learn with us. And we have regular meetings, regular get-togethers, just to look at the latest research, talk about the different kinds of conversations we're having now. And so for me, making sure that my students are comfortable, happy, enjoying the learning experience is absolutely crucial.
That's fantastic, Kayla. Thank you very much for your time, for giving that little bit of history on the menopause and how it was, and how it's great, and how it actually generates throughout time. If you're interested in the content Fiona about this, also at the same time, just to let you know, we are looking for young men or
Mm.
men of any ages who are interested in doing a webinar with me and Fiona regarding their little understanding of what the menopause is all about. Well, I
Yeah,
do thank you very much, Fiona. Much appreciated for all your help. Thank you very much for tuning in. Take care and have a great day.
thank you.